Hey, thanks for joining me for this Padres post-game recap for May 22nd, where the Padres lose the series to the Cardinals by dropping the second game in a row to them, this time by a score of 5-3. 5 runs, 14 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals, three runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Padres. And really, this ball game came down to a matchup between two young pitchers. Burt Smith making his third start in the big leagues for the Padres. Tyler Lyons making his major league debut for the Cardinals. And Lyons was absolutely outstanding tonight. You have to tip your cap to the young man. Came at the Padres with a good, hard sinking fastball. Did not make very many mistakes up in the zone. Great downward movement on his pitches. Kept it down. Yadier Molina, and he did a nice job of working in a few off-speed pitches when he needed to. Threw a few changeups, a few sliders, but not very many. Pretty much just went after guys with that fastball. Got a lot of ground balls and really kept the Padres in check. On the other hand, Burt Smith had his problems tonight. And really it came down to his inability to put batters away with 2 strikes. Now, he was getting ahead of guys. That wasn't a problem. Good fastball, as we've seen. He used a couple of breaking balls, not as much as we saw in his last outing, but really it came down to his inability to put guys away. Gave up some runs in the first inning, ended up allowing 3 runs in the first. And there were 3 hits that scored runs. All 3 of those run-scoring hits came after he was ahead of the batter 0-2. Couldn't put guys away. Made mistakes up in the zone, and it cost him. Then in the next inning, same thing. First batter got 2 strikes on him, another base hit. Finally, Carlos Beltran got a base hit on the first pitch that he saw. A run scored, and Buddy had seen enough. Goes out there in the second inning, has a little talk with them, goes to the bullpen, and I don't blame Buddy for doing it at this point. Now, there are certain situations where you leave a young pitcher in there to learn, maybe suck up some innings if he has to, and I think under different circumstances, he may have done that with Burt Smith tonight. But given the fact that this was the rubber match between the Cardinals, they had a real opportunity tonight to make a statement victory, taking the series against the Cardinals. I think Buddy wanted to win this game at all costs, and he was going to not allow Burt Smith to get this thing, allow this thing to get out of hand. And unfortunately, that's what happens. You're a young pitcher running into trouble in an important game. You got to learn that you got to make better pitches. Buddy takes him out, brings in Tim Stauffer. Tim Stauffer does an outstanding job tonight. He ends up going 5 2/3 innings, allows 1 run. Stauffer really picked up this ball club tonight. Really took the pressure off the bullpen and gave some of those guys a little bit of extra rest. So Tim Stauffer, great job tonight. Absolutely outstanding. The Padres, as I mentioned, were held in check for most of this game. Jed Jerko finally got through against Lions with a home run, and it was a blast, dead center field. And great to see Jed Jerko continue to grow as a hitter. I loved the other night when he was facing that guy throwing 97 miles an hour and got a base hit on a curveball, the pitch that he had really struggled with early in the season. And it wasn't a mistake hanging breaking ball either. Jed Jerko continues to grow as a hitter. Great to see his power continue to come forth as well. Doing an outstanding job, no question about it. Edward Mujica comes in for the last inning, the former Padre, and the Padres were able to get 2 runs on him thanks to a 2-run single by Alexi Amarista. Unfortunately, too little too late. Mujica was able to retire the final batter, and the Cardinals hang on to win this ball game. So the good things, Jed Jerko continues to do well. Tim Stauffer did an outstanding job. Alexi Amarista doing a nice job tonight. And the Padres continue to play solid baseball. They did everything they needed to do in the field. It was just a case of young Burt Smith needing to learn. And I think this kid's going to be fine. He's got a great fastball. He just needs to pitch a little bit more. We'll see him again in the big leagues. Right now, Clayton Richard is back. He was in the dugout tonight. As we mentioned yesterday, had a great rehab start for the T-Pods, AAA Team Tucson, where he went 6 innings, allowed 1 run. I think he allowed 5 hits, struck out 4. And from everything I understand, throwing the ball outstanding. Changed his arm slot. He's higher. He's on top of the ball. It's affecting his downward tilt and also getting more action on the changeup. So he should be back in there in 4 or 5 days, however they schedule it. What remains to be seen, and since Burt Smith is going to get sent down to Double-A, is who's going to replace him. We'll find that out on Friday. Day off tomorrow. Padres will make a corresponding move to Burt Smith being sent out this evening. Who knows? It could be a bullpen guy. I think it might be a bat, actually, because Carlos Quinton's knee has been bothering him. They've got plenty of pitching. Anthony Bass is going to be fresh. Tyson Ross is going to be fresh. By Stoff sucking up innings tonight, the back end of the bullpen is going to be fresh. So those guys will be ready for Friday. They might bring up a bat to cover for Carlos Quinton's knee bugging him. And that is the last thing we'll talk about. Carlos, the left knee that he injured while doing that slide and that tumble the other night. Still not feeling quite right, and the Padres are going to have to give him a few more days to try to get it healthy. So we'll see what the corresponding move is Friday in Arizona. That ball game will start at, let's take a look, 6:40 San Diego time. Ted Leiter and myself will be bringing you the call on the Mighty 1090. Hope that you'll join us. And appreciate you joining me tonight for this Padres post-game recap. I'm Bob Scanlan, and we'll talk to you on Friday. Good night.